Hello and welcome to the Philippines. We've had some couple of earthquakes here the last couple of days here in the Philippines, one in Manila, one in Samar. We actually had to evacuate our condo building today in Cebu City. Even though I didn't feel it, my friend down the street did. Here it shows some water coming off the top of a building, probably from a pool in Manila area. And here shows some damage from in the Manila area. Clark Airport was closed for at least 24 hours, and they were going to have partially open, I think, later today. Shows you where the was centered there near Manila, and we'll show you another map here. This shows the strength of the earthquake as it goes out, and then zoomed in a little bit further. I believe that shows the power intensity as it goes out from that area, Pampanga. I believe 11 people have been reported killed in the Manila area as a wall fell in a supermarket. I think part of that supermarket collapsed. Here's some damage from Samar. Just a few pictures just coming in here. Very little news yet, but some buildings, some blocks damaged, of course. And here's a map shows where that happened over on Samar Island. I'm going to tell you about a couple of apps that I use for volcanoes and earthquakes a little bit later. This particular app is on Google Play and maybe the Apple Store too, I'm not sure. Fault Finder. Supposedly you can find a fault near you. And I've tried the app today and had a little bit of issue. I'm not sure if it was my phone or my internet connection because I had a poor internet connection or what, but you might try that app, Fault Finder by Phil Volks. While I was working on this video about the current earthquakes taking place in the Philippines, there was a knock on my door. And maintenance was up here and saying, everybody must come downstairs, must leave. And I asked, why is that? And I didn't really understand the answer, but I went down and people were saying there was an earthquake. And I think because this is just a couple days after the earthquake in Manila, they're being extra cautious. Uh, and anyway, we went down there and hung around there for 30, 40 minutes, and they checked out the units, make sure there wasn't any cracks, that type of thing, and said we're okay to go back up. And while I was sitting there talking to another expat, I had my volcanoes and volcano and earthquake app on my phone, and it alerted me that there was another earthquake. And what I want to do here, this is a volcano and earthquake online website, and this website is called earthquakes.volcanodiscovery.com. They're the same people who put out the earthquakes and volcanoes, or volcano and earthquake app for both Android and Apple, I believe. Anyway, this is the map, the one that occurred up in Manila area here, and if you go up to the red circle up here, it tells you a little bit about it. It says a magnitude 6. It tells you when it occurred. They had aftershocks after that, but I believe it was actually listed as 6.1 finally. I've heard 6.4, 6.1, 5.9. Anyway, you can click that and get a little more information. And then while we were sitting downstairs by the coffee shop, here's Cebu City down here. This is where I'm at. And there was one in Samar. And it was a 6.5 initially. And quite soon after that, that was 5:37 UTC. And this is 6:41 UTC. There was a 4.6 aftershock, and this is the one that we felt in Cebu City, which surprised me a little bit being that far away. But that 6.5 over here on Samar, and I have not heard any of the damage reports from that yet. But while I'm on this page, I will take you down here to, first of all, take you down here to a volcano over relatively close to Toledo, and you just click on that and it tells you a little bit about Canaleon volcano unrest, degassing, sporadic ash emissions, and I'll occasionally see a news story about that. I think about a year ago there were some Asian hikers up there, and they lost contact with them while the ash was spewing out a little bit, and they were afraid that might be a problem, but it just turned out that they had lost their cell signal. Another active volcano, unrest, volcanic ash advisory, the Mayon volcano, and you can click on the various webcams and live data, other information there as well. Come up here to Luzon, the Tal volcano. I think that's been acting up recently. Seismic swarm, weak volcanic unrest, and big population around that area, so one would want to be a little bit concerned about that, I think. You can also zoom out of that map and see the volcanoes and earthquakes happening all over the world. And of course, here's a list over on the left-hand side. The Eastern Samar, the 4.6 listed here, and Phil Volks is the local Filipino organization that watches that. Here's the larger one, the 6.5 in Samar that we felt. Here you can also do a report yourself. I did that on my phone app. And go down here a little bit further down towards Vancouver Island. Canada had a pretty good size one. And go down here, and I think, yeah, down here, here's the Luzon, down further. Luzon, Philippines, up near Manila. Phil Volks is the government agency in charge of monitoring volcanoes and earthquakes here in the Philippines. So you might want to take out all the information available there, the maps, the different research and things that they do there. Seismic network here. Seismology is a science, but it's not exact. They continue to find more information out about faults, and they're trying to predict, use sun energy and various things, that energy that comes from space, to help predict earthquakes. Suspiciousobservers.org and quakewatch.net are a couple of sites that I watch. They've got lots of information and videos about predicting earthquakes. There are two apps I use on my phone, and I believe they're good for Android and Apple phones. And the first one is Volcanoes and Earthquakes, and you can go into settings and set what type of alerts you want, what levels of earthquakes, and whether they're close or all over the world. The second app I use is called Lastquake, and they are each interactive. You put in information of whether you felt it and what intensity you felt. So they're both very good apps in my opinion. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like the video, share the video, please subscribe. Safe travels to you all wherever you're at, and we'll see you next time.